Let's do it.
Meet me at the London. If you find time, we can run one. Talk about some things we can undo. You just said a word and I'll run through. Meet me at the London. If you find time, we can run one. Talk about some things we can undo. You just in the pen, I can find you. 6'1" on the money, 9'2". You just said a word and I'll run through. 2 texts, no reply, that's what I knew. Yeah, I knew.
I would say I was more of a introverted kid, I would say. I don't know, maybe my family would say something different.
Yeah, he kept himself to himself. He's very much a family boy.
I would just be in my own head about things, but at the same time, I like to get out and interact with other people. I didn't want to be alone, but I was fine being alone. I was fine just being to my own thoughts and staying by myself.
He's a thinker. I mean, many coaches and many people who met Deji would always say, you know, he's got, you know, a mature head on young shoulders.
I started getting into tennis when I was about 8.5 years old. It was by chance. I live in South London, close to Wimbledon, which is the biggest tennis event in the world. I was luckily brought into their initiative program that brought kids in from local school areas. I wasn't initially selected, but because no one from my school was selected, they had one pass left, and they said to the head of PE in my school, whoever you think would use this the most, like would make the most of this opportunity, give it to them.
They didn't pick Deji because of his talent or anything like that. They picked him because they said, look, we know your parents, they're likely to take you on a Saturday, so here you go. You know, so that's how he got the letter. So it's up to us to take him.
My family was always very supportive of my tennis.
Yeah, that'll bring that left hand. Good boy. Yes, good boy, Deji. Come on, look at that.
My dad, he tells this story. He said he used to drive past the courts at Wimbledon and say,
Dej, I know you can do that. Somehow I'm gonna get you in there. You could do it. Whenever we pass it, I'd always say that. And obviously the opportunity came, and so right, thank you very much. We're taking him. So every Saturday and every Sunday, we'll go.
It didn't take long for the passion to start building. And I'd say probably 6 months to a year in, when I start getting better, I thought, you know what? I love this sport. This is something I want to keep doing. Maybe when I was 13, 14, I started to improve a little bit. The next, I'd say 3 years, I went from being a guy that was only competing in local tournaments to being a guy that was competing in national level and winning national level tournaments. And then looking at college, that was a really late decision. I kind of wanted to go pro. I kind of had my mind set on that.
Coming to America was a quick decision, because initially I remember speaking to Deji about it, and he's, no, I don't want to go to America.
When I turned 18 and it got to decision time, do I want to go pro or do I want to look at college? A few coaches got in contact with me, including coaches here at Liberty, and that was kind of where the door of college tennis opened.
So we noticed his athleticism. His strength and athleticism really stood out, the way he moves, his power on his shots, and also his personality, very engaging personality, and you know, a guy that you enjoy being around.
I knew I wanted to come to Liberty as soon as I finished my visit. We look back at it, me and the coaches, we talk about it, and we say, wow, like that was one of the best visits.
It was the week of our senior day match against North Florida, and we were at convocation, and David Nasser offered for me to come out on the stage and promote our tennis match. So Deji was like, man, tennis is a big deal at Liberty here. So
it was special, and I couldn't deny the the environment and the atmosphere here that was special. I could feel it, as well as the care that the coaches had.
We really rely on, you know, the Word of God and the Holy Spirit to lead us with, because each guy's different. But we do have some principles of, you know, family first and person first approach, where we just think that that's the most effective way to build a relationship and to see guys improve their tennis game.
1, 2, 3, play!
First year, definitely big culture shock. Lynchburg, Virginia is very different to London. So that I had to get used to that. I didn't really know anybody. So it's time to make new friends, meet new people, be in a new place, go through education in a new country.
So I think internationally, being able to play here at a high level, it takes a while to adjust. I think that's the biggest thing. Getting comfortable in your environment allows you to be able to perform. So it's first getting used to the environment, the new people, new classes, new university, new living situation, you know, being away from home, it's tough.
And so my first season, my first spring season, I was the number 6 or number 7 guy, and only 6 guys get to play singles. So I was either in or out of the lineup every time. Just in, or I was the sub. And that was tough. That was tough because I felt like I was good enough to play every match.
First year here was very difficult, definitely very difficult. You know, playing at number 6, 5 and 6, he obviously felt he should be higher.
It's really tough when you're 5, 6 in the lineup because, you know, everyone's fighting for a spot, and in the 3 years I was there with Deji on the team, like, we had a lot of good guys that could have been in that lineup, and so you know that at the back of your head. But it was really special to see all of our guys, but especially Deji, you know, you could never feel that, man, he's like trying to, if one of the other guys plays at 5 or 6, like, I wish he loses so I can get a shot. You know, there was none of that on the team.
I'd have conversations with my dad. It would be the evening in my time here, and 5 hours ahead back home. My dad's on the phone with me at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m., maybe even 3 a.m.
He'd call me, and like, I think for me that was probably the tightest I've ever been, you know, because it was like the time difference, but he'd call me late, but I hear the phone, you know, he's got his special Star Wars jingle, so I know it's Deji, so right, bam, FaceTime, and we're talking, and we're, you know, and I needed to be that sort of rock for him, the island.
I don't just play tennis for me, and I didn't always just play tennis for me. It was something that we shared together. You know, through all those years, it's kind of like it's been our thing together. So he would be at every practice, every match. It was like we've done this together. We were a team rather than me just being out there. I know I wouldn't have been able to do any of it without his help. Like, my dad's like my best friend, so. Halfway through that season, COVID hit, and that kind of put to bed all these issues for the time being. And I was able to go home and kind of reset and reevaluate what I'd done and what I'd learned from the last year being out in the States. That was when my dad and I kind of came up with the mentality of, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna try and crush everything that I do. I wanna be the best at everything that I can do, work the hardest I can. And that next year I came back in August, and I had that mentality, and I worked super hard, and I started to see the results of that.
And the more that you can focus on your process, and the more that you can put your head down and work, you're going to give your best chance to play well. Thinking back on Deji, he bought into that mentality.
Highlights are definitely winning conference twice.
First ever conference final. It was, again, came down to our court. It was 6-all, and we ended up winning that tiebreak.
Just everyone running on and us celebrating together afterwards was the most special moment.
And just the joy which all of them showed, you know, it's like we've struggled together and we've made it.
But I would say that honestly, the thing that I've taken the most joy from on the court is the memories that we make together with the team. I'm super grateful for everyone on the team that's like poured into my life. Like these last 5 years are something that I'll never forget. The future of tennis for me is something I'm not sure about yet. I've always had the dream of playing professional, and then I think I kind of was able to let that dream kind of, not let it go, but leave it like this. And if it's something that I should have, it's gonna stay here. If it's something that I shouldn't have, it's gonna get taken away, and that's fine. However, if it's something that I'm being called to do and I can use as a platform,
I think his light can shine. I actually believe, I've always said this to him, I believe he's got something to offer the game of tennis.
We'll see where things are in a year. I'll check back in, and we'll see what's on the horizon. Let's do it. That was weirder. That was 100% weirder. I 100% looked into your soul and said that.
Right, Deji, let's do some press-ups. And then we'd have a press-up competition. This is when he was very young, you know, and even though he wouldn't go all the way down, you know, he'd be there, Dad, I beat you.
So Deji really enjoyed his visit, and from there, soon after that, he became a Liberty Flame.
In the match point when Deji had, this guy didn't watch the match point.
Yeah, I can't.
I closed.
I can't. It's way too stressful.
Dej, what is something that was, I can't think about something funny, bro, that happened in our 4 years.